Every now and then we come across a new brand of boat that even we haven't heard of at Motorboat and Yachting, and behind me here is one of them that has just turned up at the Southampton Boat Show. Now this is called a Balt Yacht, and Balt Yachts are a Polish yard who are best known for producing some really high quality sports boats. They actually do all the moulding for goldfish boats and for cormorant boats. Again, really smart, high-end premium sports boats. But they've got two boats here at the show. There is the Sun Camper 35 and then the Balt Yacht 818 Titanium. Now, one of the most eye-catching things about this, first of all, is the hull colour. Look at that, lovely kind of pale blue. But look at that pricing, from £87,901, including VAT, ready to go boat. Now, that's still a chunk of money, but then this is a whole load of boat, crucially under that £100,000 mark. So let's have a look and see what you get. So first up, styling. I rather like it actually. Almost vertical bow. It's a semi-displacement or semi-planing hull, so it's not super fast. It'll do about 17, 18 knots with the biggest outboard engine, which is around about 110, I believe. But equally, it'll go perfectly well with a 70 horsepower. But look at it, it's rather attractive. Nice guardrails down here, big hull windows, stylish coach roof, good walk around decks, rather nice frameless windscreen, and then this hardtop overhead. It's kind of T-top style hardtop. But let's get on board and take a closer look. First up, as I mentioned earlier, it's powered by an outboard engine, so they're not trying to make it a fast planing sports boat. With this, it should do around about sort of, I think about 12, possibly 14 knots. With a bigger engine, it'll do more like 17, 18. But they're not trying to race around at 30 knots. They're just comfortable, efficient, and most of all, affordable. So decent sized bathing platform at the back here. We've got a bathing ladder. It's a category C RCD, so again it's perfectly capable of doing sea passages. It's not going to be, not going to be crossing oceans or anything like that, but perfectly comfortable, particularly around kind of harbours and estuaries and rivers and so on, but equally really comfortable as an inland boat. Now, a nice wrap of seating around here. We've got storage under these lockers. You can see there's the battery in there. More storage for fenders and so on under there. Decent quality seating, good backrests all around. And then these walk around side decks, so I'll just show you. Now these are quite low level guardrails, but again, because it's a fairly stable semi-displacement boat, you're not going to be trying to make your way along here whilst it's bouncing around, but perfectly comfortable. Little grab rail up here. You can see how these flare out over these side decks, provide a bit of protection, so that whole cockpit area is nicely protected. We've got some solar panels up here to help keep the battery charged. See these big supports holding that nice and firm. And then big sunbed on the coach roof. Now you can see that it's slightly sort of curved to match the coach roof, so I'm not quite sure. It might be a little bit odd trying to lie on that. You might find yourself rolling towards the outside, but nevertheless, good big sunbed, hatch down there, really nice clean flat area here. We've got a lift up locker, so you can see the gas locker is in there, but you could also put your anchor in there. Relatively small cleats, but good enough for the job in hand. Guardrails back here, and then you can see they go back along there, walk around side deck, but the cover's up on that side, so we'll go back down here, show you the rest of the boat. So there you go, drop down into the cockpit again. You can see the canopies hang from this hard top, so you can enclose the whole thing. If it's not such a lovely day, you can still sit very comfortably in this cockpit. You can see there's another track there, so you can also get one around the windscreen. But really nice little sheltered, safe feeling cockpit, good deep coaming, so you can tuck yourself up in that corner there. Windscreen should make sure any wind goes over the top. Single swiveling captain's chair, you can see big bolster there, that swings round. Oh, I can't do it one-handed, but you can see that all adjusts and swing round and face into the cockpit too. Very simple helm. Obviously you're not racing around at any great speed, so you don't need an awful lot of controls. Throttle for the outboard engine, got a bow thruster, fuel gauge, and a tiny little, that's just the Yamaha controls. You could of course put any kind of sort of MFD nav gear on there if you want to. Access to the cabin, you can see that there is slide-in perspex sheets for there and a simple sliding top locker. And really what I like about it, it's so unpretentious, this boat. It's not trying to be anything it isn't. It's not spending huge amounts of money to create some fancy entrance. They just do it simply and most of all affordably. And look what you get down here. Drop down, got offset steps so that you go from one to the other, straight down, nothing too fancy, but actually a really good sized cabin down here. You've got a convertible dinette here. That will drop down, you can put an infill on there, so that becomes an occasional berth if you need it. You've got a forward berth here with a pull across curtain. You can get a proper bulkhead partition there and a door if you want to make that private. But again, I kind of like the simplicity of it all. Just keep it open, make the most use of the space. We've got a galley over on this side. It's gas, we saw the gas locker out on the deck. We've got plenty of storage under here. Pull out drawers. Little sink. Fridge over in this side. The tiny little freezer up there too. These are the coach roof windows, so you can see they've got little pull across blinds, and here too. I think I might be doing it the wrong end, so you see that opens up. Those are those hull side windows. I just like the simplicity and above all the affordability of it. We need to have boats that people can afford to get into, start their boating careers. They can always move up to something a bit faster or sportier or more luxurious later on in their careers if they want to. And then back here, there's another berth under here. Now this is really a kind of 1.5 type berth. You can see there is again an infill that goes in here to fill that out, so you do get a full length bed in there. Again, it's all open plan, but there is another curtain that draws around here, so you can have some privacy, and then a heads compartment in here. Pull out shower from there above the sink. Little opening port, get a bit of fresh air in there. Toilet. Basic hatch locker in there. Couple of shelves to put your toiletries, your soap, your flannel, whatever it may be. But actually quite good standing headroom in there. But look at that. Perfectly usable boat. It's not going to set the world on fire, but you know what? If you can have all that on a nice mooring, either on the river or on a estuary or harbour, for less than £90,000, I think that is a really decent step into boating. And with those stylish looks, quirky hull colour, and really good looking little boat, all for less than 90 grand. So there you go. I told you that even we get caught out and surprised from time to time, and this is the new Balt Yacht. So I hope you've enjoyed a look around something a little bit different and certainly more affordable than we're used to seeing. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to catching you on the next one.